What's going on? It's time to talk about more movies. And yeah, so it's pretty much the beginning of October. So I'm going to start off a little easier with sci fi and stuff. And then there's obviously going to be movies that are like not really Halloween or anything related and stuff. But I talk about horror films all the time. So there's never a shortage of stuff. This is like one of the best times of the year. A lot of good stuff usually gets released around this time of year. There's a lot of good deals when you buy movies like I do, things like that. So there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming up. So yeah, but today I'm gonna talk about Pitch Black. It's a sci-fi like creature feature film, and it's the first film in the Chronicle of Riddick franchise, the one that kicked it off. I don't think that it was originally intended to be a franchise because uh, the opening title scene in the film is just pitch black, and same with on the old posters and stuff when it was released. And then once they decided to make it a franchise, they put Chronicles of Riddick above it on the newer releases and stuff. So, but yeah. So yes, let's talk about Pitch Black. It was released by Universal February 18th, 2000. And of course, it stars Vin Diesel. And yeah, it was produced by Tom Engelman, written by uh, Jim and Ken Wheat, and it was co-written and directed by David Toy, who's also well known for doing films like he'd go on to do the sequel, Chronicles of Riddick, and the animated film that's supposed to bridge the gap between those two, Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Fury, and obviously technically the fourth film in the franchise, Riddick. And then he's also done like A Perfect Getaway and The Arrival, to name a few others. And this had a box office earnings of $53.2 million, and it had a $20 million budget. So it's a modest hit. And I can see why it took them a little while to get a sequel going and stuff. But yeah, so if you're not familiar with Pitch Black, it's a story of a prisoner cargo ship flying through space trying to get to Earth or whatever, or some other planet. And they have to make an emergency landing on a desolate unknown planet, because stuff is failing and stuff, and it starts crashing, and almost a lot of people die when it hits, and it's up to a couple of the soldiers that were transporting them that are still alive to uh, keep control of the other prisoners, and they have to work together to figure out how to survive on this planet. And it turns out that it's inhabited by other creatures that are nocturnal and roam at night, and can see in the dark and stuff. It's attracted to the light and stuff. So yeah, it's your typical sci-fi monster movie premise, basically, but it's done so well, makes it a little almost like claustrophobic, even though it's in like open areas and stuff. And you really get to know some of the characters in this. The main soldier chick, who's the head of them, she's pretty big badass in this film. And obviously Vin Diesel plays Riddick, who is the big bad guy. Uh, who ends up helping them out because he can see in the dark. And he has, so for the first half of the film, when it's daylight out, has like two suns, and you can see like sort of like uh, a Saturn type planet on an angle and stuff. There's some pretty cool imagery in it. It's sort of a little dated now, I think, but it still works to an extent. And but so for the special effects, anyways, the computer generated stuff is it looks dated now, but comes that it's made 21 years ago, so obviously that's expected. There's a lot of good puppetry work with the creatures and stuff though in it and stuff, so it's not all a big downer and stuff like that. It is quite like the interesting little film that they made, but there's a lot of like copycat films and stuff that's done it to a similar extent, like Alone in the Dark and things like that. It's a pretty basic story, I thought. Pretty general sci-fi, simplistic story to follow, and it just builds the Riddick character into quite the badass and stuff like that. And you get they definitely um, like, I don't think it was intended to be a sequel, so I think it was supposed to be like a one-off film, and that's it, because they definitely he's like the bad guy in the beginning, but then he slowly gains the trust of everyone, and they realize he's the main guy to help them get through what's going on, because he could see the creatures before they can and stuff, and it's up to them to work together to find a way off the planet. There's a lot of good kill scenes in this and stuff. it's your typical limited numbers for a sci-fi film. There's like 10 people on the ship that survive the ship, and five of them or so die. So there's a not a ton of killing, but a lot of cool killing scenes. There's a lot of cool like swarms, and when it comes to each aspect, and also you have your typical characters. Certain ones don't get along and stuff like that, and conflicts and stuff arises and stuff. It's pretty decent and well crafted. I don't have very much else to say about this film. I thought it was pretty decent still. It's definitely one of the more cool creature features to throw on. It's not too hard to follow or anything. It's not like anything extravagant out of the crazy or anything really new. Maybe at the time it was, but now there's like so much of it. This type of stuff, it's falls into the same sort of category. But for the most part, it's enjoyable still. Good characters, and you can definitely see like the two main characters that they move on with the sequels and stuff, and how explore them more. You can see the setup almost in case there was a sequel, which ended up being it. But yeah, I enjoyed Pitch Black. It's good. It's a good little creature feature sci-fi film. Pretty standard for a sci-fi film. They kind of played it safe a bit, but it was still enjoyable. If you like sci-fi films like Priest and Legion and stuff like that, this is more like that. The sequels are definitely different, but I'll get into those in later videos. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent film though. It's a good like little start to spooky month. So yeah, I'm gonna give Pitch Black a 3.5 out of 5. Um, yeah, there's nothing like really stand out about it or anything like that. Sort of like the cave, it kind of follows the same way as like the Cave, Alone in the Dark, and things like that. If you like those type of movies or the other sci-fi horror-ish films I've named, you'll probably enjoy this film too. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. There's a channel link down below, like always, if you want to see what I'm talking about, if you haven't heard of it or anything, or if you just want to relive it, that's down there. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram, that's linked down below, where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. Usually have the film title and a hashtag and the subgenre film and a hashtag, so you're aware of it. So, yeah, follow me on Instagram and stay in the loop, or you can even follow me on Letterboxd, where I post my star rating right after watching it, usually on there first thing. So, yeah, I'll post that down below too, so you could follow me on one of those to stay in the loop. Yeah, make sure you like this video, share it somewhere people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below. Let me know what you thought of it. I'll love to hear your opinions. Also, you want me to do the rest of the Chronicles of Riddick films and stuff, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can, if you want to see them sooner rather than later. Also, if there's any films or film franchise that you want me to review and talk about, and you want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below too. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can if I can find it, and I'll watch anything. So I'll watch the whole Harry Potter series if you wanted me to. So yeah, but yeah, so comment those down below, and make sure you subscribe, because I got a lot of good stuff coming up, and hopefully we can find something interesting and spooky to check out that you probably never thought of checking out together. So yeah, good start. Hopefully I got a couple other sci-fi films to come up and talk about. So yeah, we'll start off with that and see how it goes. So yeah, till the next one, watch out for all those crazy alien creatures roaming around in the dark, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So cheers.